Hey everyone, it's Allie here, and welcome back to Fab Little Dish, where we are all about all things home decor. Today, we're continuing our historic holiday home tour journey and taking a private tour through a Victorian gem, perfectly dressed in traditional Christmas decor. Welcome to the McHenry Mansion, a beautiful example of Victorian-era architecture located in the Central Valley in Modesto, California. Built in 1883 for Robert McHenry, a prominent rancher and banker, this home is a perfect showcase of the stick Eastlake style, a subset of Victorian design characterized by intricate woodwork and angular lines. Designed by architect Jeremiah Robinson, it reflects the stature and affluence that the McHenry family sought when building this home. As we enter the front hall, we're greeted by cascading garlands draped from the ceiling, drawing your eye to the chandelier, which is a striking piece because it is both gas and electric, which reflects the transitional period of lighting technology of the time. In Victorian times, the front hall was more than just an entryway. It was an introduction to the household, offering visitors their first glimpse of the family's taste and social standing. Now we're in the reception room, a formal space where guests would wait to be received. The decor here, like the rest of the home, is meticulously restored based on historical photographs. The lace curtains puddling on the floor are a true mark of Victorian luxury, where the extra fabric would signify one's wealth. Portraits of Robert McHenry and his wife Matilda hang proudly, giving us a glimpse into the lives of the original inhabitants of this elegant home. Robert McHenry, a successful rancher and banker, was instrumental in shaping Modesto's early development. He and Matilda were known for their philanthropy, including funding public buildings and actively supporting local education initiatives, leaving a lasting legacy in the community. Now we're in the front parlor, the more formal of the two parlors in the mansion. This elegant space was reserved for more intimate gatherings, such as tea with a few close guests. The Christmas decor in here is truly breathtaking, with traditional touches that transport you straight into the Victorian era. The toys on display were carefully chosen to reflect the time period, which adds to the nostalgic feel of the entire space. A fun detail that was pointed out to me is that the angel tree topper is actually not even on top of the tree. It is hanging gracefully from the ceiling. I thought that was a really clever feature. Victorian trees were often lit with real candles, which, while charming, were also incredibly risky. I also have clip-on candle lights on my Victorian Christmas tree, and I think these look absolutely gorgeous on this one. This room was a key display of wealth and status, and the rich decorations from lush garlands to opulent furniture make it clear that every detail was designed to impress. The back parlor is more casual, used daily by the McHenry family. This is where they would lounge, catch up with one another, play cards. One fascinating thing that I found here is the color coordination. The gold carpet from the front parlor transitions into gold wallpaper in this room, following the Victorian design principle of flowing colors between spaces. It's a wonderful example of the thoughtfulness in 19th century interiors. And you'll be seeing beautifully reproduced Bradbury and Bradbury wallpaper throughout the home, which are gorgeous on their own, but they are even more spectacular against the holiday backdrop of the Victorian Christmas decorations in each space. The library is another favorite space, both for its functionality and for its decor. The holiday decorations here take inspiration from the Victorian tradition of using what was readily available. Modesto being big farm country, there are always lovely florals around, and these dried florals from the area look spectacular against the golds, reds, and blues in the room. And I just love this large gold mirror on the fireplace mantle. Large mirrors were a way to amplify the light from the central chandelier or from the candelabra on the mantle, adding depth and brilliance to the room. This space truly felt whimsical, and I just wish I could reproduce it in my own home. The dining room, a centerpiece for Victorian entertaining, showcases breathtaking opulence and the era's refined attention to detail. At the heart of the room is a magnificent walnut over-the-mantel mirror, which is an original feature of the McHenry Mansion and a classic example of the Eastlake style, with its geometric carvings and elegant design. This mirror not only reflects light, enhancing the room's warm glow, but also amplifies the grandeur of the space, a hallmark of Victorian interiors. Adding to the charm are hand-painted Limoges plates, delicately displayed around the sideboard, each piece a testament to the artistry and luxury of the time. The serving table is adorned with stunning silver-plated serving pieces, their intricate detailing gleaming under the soft light, offering a sense of timeless elegance. Every element in this room speaks to the grandeur of Victorian dining traditions, where hosting guests was not just about the meal, but about creating an unforgettable experience of luxury and sophistication. The interplay of rich woods, polished silver, and fine china makes this dining room a perfect snapshot of Victorian-era splendor. Unlike the ornate main rooms, the kitchen is subdued and purely functional. Tools of the time, including an icebox and a wood and coal-burning stove, are on display, offering a glimpse into the daily workings of the household. The live-in maid's room is a fascinating mix of furniture styles, which often consisted of hand-me-downs that the family was no longer using. The bed is walnut in the Renaissance Revival style, while the wardrobe is a repurposed bookcase, a practical solution for storage. It's a humble yet inviting space. And now we're in the children's room with a walnut bedroom set, which is also in the Renaissance Revival style. These dolls were imported from Germany, and as popular as they were in Victorian times, these just creep me out a little bit. However, I do have my American Girl Samantha doll sitting right underneath my Christmas tree because it was one of my, if not the best Christmas present of all time. I just love how they love their dolls, so I guess I can't knock it. I also really love the wallpaper in here. It's that reproduced Bradbury and Bradbury wallpaper, and it is just gorgeous how it looks on the ceiling in this space. Wallpaper from floor to ceiling is a dream, and this one is just living every moment of that fantasy of mine. The curved wall here is also a very clever architectural detail, allowing for closets while maximizing the room space. It was a very unique way of thinking when you were planning layouts during the time, and it was pointed out to me on the tour, so I also wanted to share that with you. This was a sweet, smaller guest room, but today it is used as a bridal party room if you ever rent the mansion out for your wedding, which I'm sure would be beautiful. But I thought it was really cool. There was a wall hanging in here that depicts the owners of the house. There aren't very many, and thankfully, because of the gallows, yes, the same as the wine, they purchased this house and then sold it to the city of Modesto for $1 with the expectation that it would be restored to its original time period and also offered to the public for all to enjoy. How admirable is that? The main bedroom of the home feels very heavy and formal, with the wall-to-wall carpeting, thick draperies, and massive furniture. Not to mention the big mannequins of Mr. and Mrs. McHenry staring right at you. There is a curling iron with an alcohol burner off to the side. You can see it to the right side of the mirror. This is significant because Ora Louise, which was the third child of Oramil McHenry, Robert McHenry's son, she died tragically as a result of her clothes catching on fire from an alcohol-fueled curling iron. So the fact that there was one sitting right here was definitely intense, but also a reminder to be thankful for how far we have progressed with our beauty tools. This larger guest bedroom with its adjoining sitting area reflects later design influences from Robert McHenry's son's time period, Oramil McHenry. That's why we see lighter colors, brass, we see different kinds of styles of furniture and trinkets and vases and a whole bunch of different kinds of influences that are now being introduced in this space. And it was really fascinating how the curators did everything so according to the time period, so you really do feel like you're being transported into time and into when design styles are changing. So this room really stood out to me. Again, we just see that spectacular Bradbury and Bradbury wallpaper. I am just so obsessed with it. But it just really makes this room shine. And I just think it's fascinating to see the progression of interior styles within this historic home. The guest bedroom here is also following that design progression, and it's decorated to the period when Ormil and Murdy McHenry lived in the mansion. After Ormil's death, Murdy's mother came to stay and occupied this room until her death in 1910. There are some lovely pieces in this room, including this French porcelain clock, which was a traditional gift to a new bride. Hey, I'll take one. As we descend down the stairs, we see a flag with 38 stars, which was the official flag of the United States from 1876 to 1889. It's a fitting tribute to the era in which this home was built. And again, makes you feel like you're stepping back in time. That concludes our tour of the McHenry Mansion, a Victorian masterpiece beautifully decorated for the holidays. I hope you enjoyed stepping back in time with me. If you loved this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more home decor, historic home tours, and holiday inspiration. But until our next holiday adventure, take care, stay lovely, and stay festive, my friends.